Thank you so much for joining us again on Nationwide. We do apologize for the slight delay. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has granted bail to the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. He was granted bail by Justice Nicholas Owebo in the sum of 20 million naira. Possession of firearms. Taking his plea, the defendant, Godwin Emefiele, pleaded not guilty to the 2 counts. The matter has been adjourned to 14th of November 2023 for the commencement of trial. And Nigeria has mobilized over $500 million for innovative, profitable, equitable and sustainable food systems transformation initiative. The Vice President Kashim Shettima discussed this while chairing a high-level meeting at the UN Food Systems Summit in Rome. Vice President Shettima says the funds were mobilized through domestic resources, multilateral development banks, international financial institutions, climate funds, leading agro-businesses, and would be used for innovation financing for food system transformation, development of Nigeria's agro-value chain, and special agro-industrial processing zones programs. The VP explains that the government of Nigeria will be showcasing its value chain development program as a unique example of a successful partnership between producers and public sector, as well as the private operators. Vice President Shettima says the federal government is determined to capacitate Nigeria's rural smallholders and operators, youth and women living below the poverty line to take advantage of the new special processing zones. Let's head to Lagos for more reports on Nationwide.
Lizzie. As part of a holistic approach aimed at deepening trade facilitation between Nigeria and Benin Republic, the 2 nations' customs are prospecting the harmonization of import prohibition list while removing hiccups to transactions. Michael Olale tells us more.
Friendships stretched across the border in the renewed hope of implementing the guidelines specifying improved trade relations between Nigeria and Benin Republic, as indicated in the Policy Advisory Council document. After the salutation and exchange of pleasantries, then the re-business, which took the Acting Controller General of Customs to various parastatals in charge of cargo monitoring and port administration. An engagement offering greater insight for Nigeria, but the big issues, as unmasked by the joint consultative meeting with traders from both countries, revolve around removing human obstacles and financial constraints.
We will be highly interested on how the discussions on transit levy go, so that we'll be talking of shared prosperity between our operators, our businessmen, and of course Republic of Benin, through which these goods are transiting.
Still a little miles to implementation, but the Director General of Benin Customs is hopeful the Giants relationship will translate into an exchange agreement in which Nigeria customs officials will be posted to posts in Benin. Although the long-term goal is to establish a joint commission for monitoring trade, but in the meantime, both countries resolved to reconvene in September for the purpose of advancing discussions.
Working together, we will be able to take on some of these issues as they come. The issue of checkpoints, for instance, we've taken a significant step in the reductions of these checkpoints even before my visit.
Earlier, the Acting Controller General of Customs was at the Nigeria Embassy in Benin, where the Ambassador Olukao Dialuko noted that the country can extract some commitments from the engagements that will result to a win-win situation. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
That's it from here. Just is our next stop after this break.
You're still watching Nationwide. The House of Representatives has passed the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act 2004, repeal Reenactment Bill. The bill is to provide for a comprehensive framework for regulating the manufacturing, distribution, storage and disposal of defense articles. The bill, when signed into law, will also provide the framework for research activities in the defense sector. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikme reports that the House at Tuesday's plenary also asked the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to compel electricity distribution companies to discontinue the extortive practice of estimated or arbitrary billing and put in place an effective metering plan for electricity consumers in the country.
Involve any provision of law and other standard agreements to penalize DISCO from exploiting or abusing the right of consumers. Evolve a methodology among the distribution companies to compensate communities, individuals, and other private public entities for their investment in the distribution network.
I am equally a direct victim, and my father is equally a direct victim of attitudes of these DISCOs because they are not properly regulated.
And those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against you say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Power when constituted.
Now, experts have advised that adequate and effective flood risk reduction strategies can help check devastation caused by flash floods and river flooding. Local mitigation and adaptation measures, they emphasized, are important aspects of this, particularly as climate change keeps presenting unpredictable weather events, and growing population in cities across the world, for instance, is making more people live in flood-prone area and bank of rivers. Dalashe community of Maidun area of Mile 12, Lagos, is a community close to the Ogun River. Every year, particularly the month of August and September, the urn of flood hits them hard, and in some cases with fatal consequences. The release of water from the Onyu Dam in Ogun State is one of the worst nightmares because of the havoc wreaked by flooding. We will be examining the local adaptation plans of the community and disaster risk reduction plans by emergency management agencies. And we are being joined by Michael Olaleye, who is standing by in Lagos to give us some updates. Michael, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You've stayed in Lagos for years and you know how challenging it could be to get accommodation. This is because there are around 20 million people occupying landmarks in which 40% of them is 40% is occupied by water bodies and wetland. And talking about, you will quite understand why a community of this nature has inhabitants here. There are many. This is actually Tele Dalashe community, but there are 19 communities occupying the riverbanks and the fringes, right from here down to the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I'm talking about the Sherry Opic area of the community. Look at the waters right now. They look calm, gentle, but at this point of at this time of the year is usually danger looming in the sense that water will be released from the Onyu Dam anytime from now into the Ogun River, and most times it's ended up going to the houses of people staying around this community. There are told me instances in which they were forced to remove the fuse of their transformers to avoid electrocution. And I have with me right here a community leader who they have been putting together a mitigation strategy. They can't run away from the water. This is the reality of climate change. So they have a mitigation strategy in place that enable them to cohabit with their environment. And with me here is Mr. Adekunle Owolabi, is the community the chairman of the Community Development Association in Tele Dalashe. So Zah, tell me, what are those strategies you've been using, adopting to cohabit with the challenges in your environment?
Thank you very much, sir. It has been long, it's getting a year plus now. This our big collab on this. 8th of July 2022. Since then, we have made the community make an effort to ensure that our people convene out and in through these boats. And you can have a look now. This is what they are using now, for now. And this is the time of flood. We are appealing to the government to assist us because...
Let's talk about mitigation strategy. How you have been coping with the environment. You told me earlier that with the water tide rising, that you make a makeshift bridge that enable people to access the community without having any fear. Then there is the issue, I mean, you told me also about houses. Those are the issues I want you to highlight here.
Really, for now, the volume of the water is not too much now. But by the time we get to August and September, the volume of the water will rise a lot. So that is probably people to evacuate from this place. It will enter many houses. And if you can have a look now, for now, people are afraid of crossing. And if you look at the community where we have 19 CDA, majority of people have left the community.
I also have with me here Nema. Mr. Owolabi, I appreciate your time for this conversation. I have with me Nema here. Nema will be telling us about the strategy they have in place. Can you tell us the strategy you have in place to mitigation strategy? This actually Mr. Ibrahim Faniloye, the coordinator of Lagos Territorial Office, with me.
Well, you can see the rising water. This is just River Ogun coming up now. The dam has not released any water as of yesterday.
So what's NEMA doing specifically?
Well, what we are supposed.
We do apologize for the glitch, but want to thank Michael Olalaye so much for his efforts. And from flood mitigation, we move to sports, and Olumide Kunsola will be our guide.
The Super Falcons of Nigeria continue their build-up ahead of the team's second group game against co-host Australia on Thursday at the ongoing Women's World Cup. The focus of the team is goal-scoring techniques, and win for either of the two teams is significant as only the top two teams will qualify for the next round.
In cricket, Nigeria lost its second game to Uganda by 39 runs in a match where Nigeria had all the cards at the ongoing Men's Under-19 Cricket World Cup qualifiers in Tanzania. It was a brilliant first innings from the junior Yellow Greens, restricting Uganda to just 70 runs. But Nigeria finished with 39 runs, all out of 16.2 overs, to lose the game. Earlier, Nigeria lost its fourth game to Sierra Leone by 9 wickets.
Any coach will feel disappointed, because the guys have the ability to win matches. In the two games that we've lost so far, it cannot be blamed on anything.
In handball, Chief of Army Staff shooters continued their quest to gain promotion back to the top tier of the Handball League as they extended their victory on day 2 of the National Division 1 League ongoing in Benin City, Edo State. The team defeated Nasarawa Ambassadors 30-20 to lead the men's category. Cross River and Yobe boys ended their affairs 25-25. Adamawa got their first victory 39-24 over Osun United. In basketball, the local organizing committee for this year's FIBA Women's Afro Basketball Championship has confirmed their readiness to stage the competition, scheduled to start on the 28th of July. The Tigress and others will do battle at the BK Arena in Kigali. In grassroots basketball, all is now set for the second edition of Rep Your City 3-on-3 basketball competition meant to popularize the game in Nigeria. 24 teams in the Southwest will take part in the event in Ondo State. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
In sports update with Olumide ends nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. Do endeavor to look out for more trending stories in our subsequent bulletins. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good evening.